Thank you, Cornelius. It is Buxted 2. Sean Bowen up, royal blue, white hoops, yellow and white half sleeves, yellow cap. Chupin Minzak, Charlie Hammond follows. Emerald green with the yellow cross of Lorraine. Then Bailey's Derby Day and Jack Quinlan. Yellow with a dark green stripe. Striped sleeves, quartered cap. Anne Bonny. Sam Twiston Davis, red white seams, white sleeves, red spots. Activist, Jack Tudor. Black and orange quarters, check sleeves. Tregale, David Bass, dark blue and yellow halves, blue sleeves, yellow cap. EDL de Villeray, Brian Hughes, dark blue, light blue hoop, checked sleeves and cap. Solar System, Mihal Nolan, emerald green, yellow hoops, white cap. Autumn Blaze, Killeen Leonard, purple and mauve quarters. Vision of Hope, Aidan Coleman, dark blue, red seams, white sleeves, red cap. Yes and Yes, Lee Edwards, red and green checks, halved sleeves, quartered cap. And Importateur, Richie McClernand up in brown with white epaulets. 12 of them on their way to the 2-mile start. For the best odds guaranteed at Vickers.bet maiden hurdle, race 4 is due off at 2:45. Tregale, Chupin, Minzak, Activist and Bonny. Short price. Short price favourite, EDL de Villeray, 4-9. It's 11-2, Buxted 2. 13-2, Chupin Minzak. 10-1, Tregale. 14, Activist. 33, Bailey's Derby Day. 40, Vision of Hope. 66-1, Yes and Yes and Solar System. 100-1 and Bonny. 100-1, Autumn Blaze, which was nice. Chupin Minzak, Activist, EDL de Villeray, who's had a fair few chances. A mark of 119. Buxted 2. And the blue and white hoops is just behind the favourite. Second in. Flat winner. And has had just the one start over hurdles. That was a fair while ago, back in December 21. Last couple of runners. Yes and Yes and Importateur about to reach the post. Last of the runners arriving at the post. 4-9, EDL de Villeray. 6-1 bar brings in Buxted 2. 7, Chupin Minzak. 9-1, Tregale. 14, Activist. And 33-1 bar. So, a mixed level of ability likely to be on show here. And Importateur and Yes were briefly in shot. They're already having the girths checked. Autumn Blaze on the left. All to do on form. EDL de Villeray. Buxted 2. Activist of interest. Flat winner. Jack Tudor for his new governor, David Pipe. Chupin Minzak's in the emerald green. Bailey's Derby Day following, alongside Anne Bonny. Tregale's in a noseband, dark blue and yellow halves, alongside Solar System. Vision of Hope is loitering behind them. Not too far off start now. Importateur and Yes joining the others. Flags up. Coming in. And off. Racing over 2 miles for the best odds guaranteed at Vickers.bet maiden hurdle. Ideal de Villeray jumped off in front on the inside of Chupin Minzak. Autumn Blaze out wide. Activist is well positioned, so too is Bailey's Derby Day and Bonnie chasing them in rear, and Portateur shifted markedly to the right at the first. Coming on towards the second, Ideal de Villeray, Chupin Minzak in the centre, Activist, Tregale up the inside, who's now pulling. Autumn Blaze handy out wide as they close in on the third. Ideal de Villeray from Chupin Minzak. Autumn Blaze darted away to the right. Tregale keen up the inside of Activist. Then Bailey's Derby Day. Buxted 2 settled midfield in front of Anne Bonny, Vision of Hope and Solar System. Yes and Yes and Portateur in the last pair. It's Ideal de Villeray, short price favourite, leads them into the city turn, narrowly in front of Chupin Minzak, Autumn Blaze, Tregale up the inner, then Activist in orange and black and Bailey's Derby Day, rounding out the leading half dozen. Buxted 2 is next, then Anne Bonny in red and white from Vision of Hope, Solar System and Portateur, and the grey Yes and Yes is just about last of the 12 as they level off to race down the back straight. Led by Ideal de Villeray and Brian Hughes setting the fractions, with Chupin Minzak and Charlie Hammond still giving chase. Tregale up the inside, Autumn Blaze out wide, and all out safely over that hurdle, which Anne Bonny didn't jump especially well. Autumn Blaze gets a reminder or two soon after it. Remains close up behind Ideal de Villeray and Chupin Minzak. Autumn Blaze out wide, then Tregale, Activist, Bailey's Derby Day, Buxted 2's following those. Ideal de Villeray from Chupin Minzak and Autumn Blaze, and they're hunted up by Tregale and Bailey's Derby Day. At the other end of the field, and Portateur's ridden along. Yes and Yes appears to be labouring. Ideal de Villeray from Chupin Minzak, Tregale, Autumn Blaze coming under a ride, then Bailey's Derby Day from Activist. From off the pace, Vision of Hope is making headway. Then follows Solar System. Buxted 2's lost several positions down the back. Would only be 8th or 9th as they turn into the northern bend. Anne Bonny is labouring. Yes and Yes and Portateur, who've always raced in the rear, being left well behind. Top of the home straight. 3 to jump, Ideal de Villeray from Chupin Minzak. Bailey's Derby Day and Tregale are in touch. The others are becoming outpaced. Vision of Hope and Activist are sharing 5th off the turn in, followed by Solar System, and after those, Autumn Blaze, who's weakened tamely away. Running towards the third from home, Ideal de Villeray from Chupin Minzak, Bailey's Derby Day and Tregale, and they're clear of Solar System staying on best of the rest as they run down towards 2 from home. Ideal de Villeray is the leader, and Portateur's been pulled up 3 out. Chupin Minzak continues to give chase. Tregale now challenging for second. Bailey's Derby Day's faded back in 4th. On ahead of Chupin Minzak on this long run in. Ideal de Villeray hasn't yet put it to bed. Tregale is staging a rally. Down the outside is Chupin Minzak. It's still Ideal de Villeray running up towards the line, ridden out to make all. Ideal de Villeray from the rallying Chupin Minzak and Tregale clear of the staying on Solar System, and then Bailey's Derby Day well clear of the rest, led home by Activist.